Mr. Monkey Back Row Ministry, Peace and Air Crease. Just gonna do a quick piece on the continued rigging of sports and the corruption in sports. And I definitely highlighted, Paul Feinbaum's statement against the Notre Dame program, calling them sniveling crybabies for standing up for themselves and skipping the bull game. And remember, they have a black American coach who decided to, have a conversation with his players in order to make the decision of if they were going to play in the bull game. So they put their foot down. They put their foot down and decided that they weren't going to participate in the bull game. Remember, that's the invitation, and that's the invitation you can say yeah or nay to. You can turn down, and Notre Dame has enough money so they can turn it down. But I wanted to highlight what Feinbaum. Now, remember, Feinbaum is an ESPN stoolie, and ESPN has a contract with the ACC and the SEC. So, of course, his allegiance is going to be to Alabama. Now, let's talk about the shadiness of ESPN. ESPN, the Disney-ran network who does certain things to appease certain people, and the CFB, or the College Football Committee, who also are shady people, because why is a 3-loss team, with all the 2-loss teams, the 1-loss teams you have in the playoff, why is a 3-loss team in the playoff? And why wasn't a conversation against to decide who's going to be in the playoff between the 2-loss teams that they had left? How is it that Notre Dame was number 9 and got totally dropped out, and Alabama stayed at number 9? When Notre Dame was number 10, they should have moved up in front of Notre Dame. So that is the shadiness of the College Football Committee, caking for Alabama. Remember, last year, Alabama lost 3 games, it was out. So the rule has to be, if you lose 3 games, you're out. Miami had a defense for themselves since they beat Notre Dame, but Miami, and at least Miami and Notre Dame, can say we played each other, y'all beat us. We'll drop in ranking. They might have put Miami ahead of Notre Dame due to that. But Alabama got whooped in the SEC game. But not only that, they lost to a team that Miami beat, which is Florida State. They lost to Oklahoma. So they've lost to 2 playoff teams. But they lost to 2 playoff teams, Georgia and Oklahoma, but then lost to a team that Miami beat, which should cancel Alabama out. But why is Alabama in it? Because we have a NCAA that feels that Alabama has to be in every discussion about the playoff. ESPN wants ratings, so they think that every championship or every playoff has to have Alabama in it. And they keep caking for Alabama. But this time they crossed the line. And they crossed the line because they crossed the Catholic Church. So I think that there's going to be a lot of investigation of ESPN coming up. There's going to be a lot of investigation on the relationship between ESPN and the SEC and the College Football Playoff Committee and the SEC. You're going to see a lot of stuff coming out of this story. But the thing that pisses me off with people like Feinbaum and, their statements about people being sniveling crybabies, why do they get upset when you stand up for yourself? And as a society, we tolerate so much, and we tell our youth to tolerate so much. And when the youth decide, no, we're not putting up with your bullshit, then you're a sniveling crybaby. You should just take your whooping and go in a corner and cry, crawl and cry. But when they stood up for themselves, then Feinbaum and ESPN, who have no defense for what they did, have nothing else to do but, well, they're crybabies, they're this, they're that. No, what's right is right and what's fair is fair. If a team loses 3 games, you weren't even willing to look at Texas, who lost 3 games, they should not be in that college football playoff. So what fair is fair. And just like with the power of the program, Notre Dame is one of those programs that has a history just like Alabama. So what's fair is fair. They lost the game they needed to win to get in the playoff, which was their championship game, which was an important game. They lost it. And when they lost it, that should have been the end. They had to win that game. So this whole thing about conference championship shouldn't matter. They always matter. Every game you play matters. They should matter when we're talking about going into the playoff, because that game matters, especially in a ranking system. They lost their championship and didn't move one position. And that's fair. Feinbaum is an ESPN stoolie. That's all he is. He does exactly what ESPN does. When they ask him the question, who should get in, what's the first team came out of his mouth? Alabama. Last year, he wasn't defending Alabama to get into the playoff after Alabama lost that third game. But this year, oh man, Alabama needs to be there. Yes, they need to be there. Yes, they need to be there. Come on. Why? When they are reliving what they did last season. They did not do what needed to be done to win. They lost a game to a team that, yes, is in a college playoff because they deserve to be in a college playoff due to the wins that they had and the losses they had. Notre Dame, they lost to a team in the playoff. That was one of their losses. You have to look at that with respect for the loss. But they only got 2. Alabama has no reason in the college football championship this year. No reason. The only reason they're there is because ESPN has that relationship with the SEC. ESPN is backing this. ESPN thinks this is going to move the needle for as far as viewership, and it's not. I think it's going to be the opposite. I think people are going to tune out. People are going to tune out. Right now, everybody wants Alabama to lose by a big margin come Oklahoma, because if that happens, if Oklahoma beats the brakes off of Alabama, you think this is a problem right now. It's really going to be a problem in the weeks to come for the College Football Playoff Committee, because I hope that no one is taking any money from anybody from Alabama. I'm just hoping that. But right now, it's a problem for them. So people can say what they want to say about the Notre Dame program, but you're saying things about the Catholic Church, because that's a Catholic school and they are heavily backed by the Catholic Church. And there's going to be a lot of furniture moving based on that. So I applaud the coach of Notre Dame having a conversation with his players, and I applaud them walking away, because you got to put your foot down. And the problem with our society is, especially when it's a black man that did it. Now, if it's a Caucasian guy, fine, by on, had shit to say. But the minute a black American put his foot down and had that conversation with his players, oh man, they're sniveling crybabies. No, he's a guy who's already in a certain situation that's not going to stand for further corruption in the situation. So he put his foot down and he stepped away. And when black Americans step away, it's a problem. We're crybabies. We're not going to be fucked over by you. And if you want to fuck us over, we'll hit you where it hurts, in the pocket, because you need Notre Dame at that Bull game, because Notre Dame brings fans just like everybody else, and they bring a lot of fans. And whoever was hosting that Bull game, they're going to be feeling it, because Notre Dame's not there. So they hit them where they knew it would hurt, in their pocket. You ain't got to huff, puff, blow the house down with these people. Just don't show up. And I hope more schools take the lead that, hey, to change something, maybe we need to stay our butts at the house. Maybe we don't need to show up. Since they feel that they can do what they want to do, let's put our foot down and let's not show up to kind of give send a warning to the College Football Committee and ESPN that if y'all gonna play favorites, we're gonna play favorites too. We're gonna play our favorite movies while we sit at the house, and y'all lose millions of dollars because we're not playing. Back Row Ministry, peace and hair.